The NEET undergrad 2024 result controversy is sparked off widespread demands for a probe and a re-examination. Allegations of a leaked question paper raised doubts about the exam's fairness. Candidates reported technical glitches such as computer malfunctions and connectivity issues impacting their performance. Discrepancies in the official answer keys have also prompted calls for re-evaluation. Unfair exam conditions at some centers, including overcrowding and inadequate facilities, added to the stress. Additionally, claims of inconsistencies in the marking scheme have further fueled concerns. On one hand, Congress has demanded a Supreme Court supervised investigation, criticizing the Modi government for jeopardizing candidates' futures. Meanwhile, social media is filled with aspirants' calls for transparency and accountability, urging a thorough probe to ensure justice for the affected students, followed by a series of protests amidst the ongoing controversy. A new petition, in fact, is also being filed at Supreme Court today, seeking re-examination and to declare the exam as null and void. In fact, joining us to decode this story further is Dr. P.S.V. Rao, Consultant Surgeon, Manipal Hospital, Hebbal, Bengaluru. We also have Dr. Upma Arora, Principal, JBM Global School, joining us live. K.V. Dhananjay, Supreme Court lawyer, joins us on the broadcast, as does Ayushi Patel, NEET student. Let me bring in Ayushi Patel first onto the broadcast. Ayushi, did you appear for the NEET this year itself? And what are your thoughts on how this controversy has panned out?
Yes, sir. I appeared in NEET 2024. I gave the exam on 5th May, and तब तक I was sure कि after checking the marks from Alan and Akash answer key, I was sure कि मेरे marks 750 मतलब 705 आ रहे थे. That is 700 above. लेकिन जब 4th जून को मेरा रिजल्ट आता है, तो मतलब रिजल्ट नहीं आया मेरा 4 जून को, जिस दिन रिजल्ट आना था. तो आई वाज लाइक कि क्यों नहीं ओपन हो रहा है. मुझे लगा 23 लाख स्टूडेंट्स हैं, ट्रैफिकिंग होगा, इसकी वजह से नहीं अपेयर हो रहा है. तो 1 आवर के बाद मेरे पास एक ईमेल आता है, एंड आई वाज शॉक टू सी दैट ईमेल कि उसमें लिखा है कि मेरे OMR क्योंकि डैमेज्ड और टॉर्न कंडीशन में अथॉरिटीज़ को मिला, इसलिए उन्होंने मेरी नीट OMR को रिजेक्ट कर दिया, मतलब उनको स्किप कर दिया ओवर अदर्स. सो इतना देखने के बाद आई वाज शॉक्ड. मैं चुपचाप बैठी रही. आई स्टार्टेड क्राइंग, और माई मदर सपोर्टेड मी आफ्टर सीइंग द ईमेल. शी सेड दैट कोई बात नहीं, अब जो हो गया तो हो गया, वी हैव टू टेक द एक्शन इमीजिएटली ऑन दिस. So within an hour or so, we just called our मैंने मेरे मामा को कॉल किया क्योंकि वो इसमें हाई कोर्ट में लॉयर हैं. तो उन्होंने बोला कि वी हैव टू टेक द एक्शन इमीडिएटली. तो हम गए उनके पास सारे प्रूफ्स एंड ऑल लेकर के. उन्होंने NTA को मेल भेजा और इस पे तुरंत मतलब उन्होंने बोला कि जैसी भी OMR शीट है, इफ़ टॉर्न है जैसी भी कंडीशन में, तो हमको हमारी OMR शीट मेल के थ्रू भेज दी जाए, या फिर सॉफ्ट कॉपी या हार्ड कॉपी जैसे भी वो चाहें. तो 24 आवर्स के अंदर लकीली हमको हमारी OMR शीट मिल गई, विच वॉज एन टॉर्न डैमेज कंडीशन. उसमें लिखा था मेरा रोल नंबर, मेरा OMR शीट नंबर, सब कुछ क्लियर है, सब कुछ वही है, बट वो टॉर्न कंडीशन में थी. आई डोंट नो वो टॉर्न थी क्योंकि मैंने तो उनको टॉर्न सबमिट नहीं करी, बिकॉज मेरे एग्जामिनर्स जहाँ पे मैं बैठी थी वो बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट थे, जो मेरे इन्विजिलेटर्स थे. मेरे पीछे जिस 2 बेंच पीछे एक बच्चा था जिसके थोड़ा सा पानी गिरा था उसको OMR शीट पे. तो दे सेड कि OMR शीट पे आपके वाटर है, वो डैमेज्ड है, तो हम उसको थोड़ी देर के बाद लेंगे जब तक पानी सूखता नहीं है. मेरी फर्स्ट सीट थी, मेरे साथ ऐसा कोई केस नहीं हुआ, मैंने कोई टॉर्न OMR शीट सबमिट नहीं करी, और अगर हुई है गलती तो एटलीस्ट दे शुड चेक द OMR शीट. और नेक्स्ट डे हमने पिटीशन फाइल कर दी क्योंकि हमारे पास प्रूफ आ गया था कि मेरी OMR शीट है उनके पास में.
जी, तो अब क्या स्टेटस है? व्हाट इज द स्टेटस नाउ?
सर आई एम ऑल्सो मतलब जितना मेरे को सपोर्ट मिला है इस टाइम पे, अभी भी मुझे उधर से तो कोई मेल वगैरह नहीं आया है. पिटिशन हमने फाइल की है, वेडनेसडे को इसकी हियरिंग है, फर्स्ट हियरिंग. लेकिन 24 आवर्स के अंदर जितना सपोर्ट मुझे मिला है मीडिया से और इंडिया से, मेरे लखनऊ से, आई एम शॉक टू सी कि लिटरली लोग मतलब है मेरे साथ में. आई वॉज थोड़ी देर पहले तक आई वॉज डिप्रेस, लेकिन अब आई एम स्ट्रॉन्ग, एबल टू स्टैंड आउट कि नहीं लोग हैं मेरे साथ और मेरा सपोर्ट करेंगे, मुझे जस्टिस मिलेगा. जी,
you're willing to of course fight for your individual case, but now you're also witnessing what's happening with the other the exam as a whole, where there are allegations of course leakage of papers. There are allegations that from certain centers the marks are the same. You're hearing the other stories also that are coming out. What do you make of that, Ayushi?
So if you see the interviews of the topper students who they have suggested that they are the toppers, scoring 720 on 720, if you see their personality, if you see their behavior, I don't think so they are capable of telling 2 answers of physics correctly. So like for me, they are not the toppers. Me, like I'm working here for 4 hours. मैंने पूरा 4 साल इस पे दिया है और 4 years मैंने पूरा डेडिकेट कर दिया नीट के पढ़ाई को लेकर के. इसके पहले मेरे 595 स्कोर था. आई वॉज मतलब मेरे पेरेंट्स ने मुझे इतना हर जगह सपोर्ट किया है. आई वॉज एबल टू स्टैंड आउट ऑन माई 4th अटैम्प्ट और मुझे इस बार यकीन था कि मेरे 715 मार्क्स मतलब जो आ रहे थे 700 प्लस तो बनेगा ही, मुझे मेरा ड्रीम कॉलेज एम्स मिलेगा. बट लाइक आई वॉज नॉट श्योर. मुझे नहीं पता था कि मेरे साथ इतना बड़ा स्कैम हो जाएगा इस बार के नीट अटैम्प्ट में. मैंने बहुत अच्छे तरीके से प्रिपेयर करके ये सारी चीज़ें दी और होपफुली सोचा भी था कि मुझे एम्स मिलेगा, लेकिन आई वॉज शॉक्ड टू सी द रिजल्ट्स.
Okay, let me get in Dr. P.S.V. Rao. Dr. P.S.V. Rao, come in here. This is, of course, a dejected student who's appeared for NEET this year. You've heard the other stories as well. Is this, what we want to subject our aspiring and upcoming doctors to? What do you make of this scandal that has gripped the NEET 2024 exam?
Good evening, Uday, the panelists and viewers. I have been an examiner for surgery exams, both undergraduate and postgraduate, in various universities of India. Plus, I've been involved with the entrance exams, and now I'm an examiner for the British surgery exams. It is very sad if the exam papers are either leaked or the marking process is messed up or the results are fiddled around with. It definitely ruins the career of large number of students and their future prospects. This is extremely sad. And as you know, we have in the past we used to keep hearing of farmer suicide. Nowadays we are hearing about people committing suicide in Kota and other places where all the students, young students are studying for exams. This should not happen. Exams has to be conducted properly. There has to be a strict investigation of what has gone on, and these problems have to be sorted out. And if there has been an exam paper leak and there has been problems with the entire way of evaluation of the marks, etc., then obviously they will have to hold a fresh exam under very strict conditions. You remember we also had that scam about the police selection exam. We have had other scams. These things are totally unacceptable. And otherwise the whole career of these youngsters will be ruined. And so I am very much for a proper high power investigations into it, and all those who are responsible for this problems, etc., should be strictly punished. And we should have absolutely no controversy about the selection exams, any selection exams, not only the NEET selection exams. Yes, sir.
Okay. Dr. Upma Arora, have some of your students also faced, trouble because of this, NEET controversy? Students of your school who appeared this year. Also, Dr. Arora, you're an educationist, you're an eminent educationist. What do you make of what all has gone wrong which has led to this scandal?
Nothing as such from our students. The students have done pretty well, but in my opinion, since 26 lakh students are appearing for NEET exams, and look at the seats that we have, and then look at the soaring so high. 720 students, 70 students, 69 students have scored 720 perfect score. So where are the seats for rest 26 lakh students? So this is, in my opinion, like, what is this happening? Those children who have, I may be calling 6 lakh students might not be very serious about this exam. So 20 lakh students have really done hard work on this. So what is the career of their dreams? What is the result of their outcome? So I am really taken aback to see the results soaring so high, and the competition level which is coming up very high. So in my opinion, there should be more of government colleges for these students who are aspiring to become doctors, and doctors are going to serve the whole nation. And if at all we don't give them the space to learn, and if you see the candidates appearing for private candidates, those who really want to become doctors, then they want to do the private colleges, and and the fees is very expensive. It goes in 25 lakh per year, or somewhat like that. So what will happen to the dreams of so many students? This is really unrealistic. Where is the career for them? And these children, they go in other countries, Ukraine, Russia, and Canada. They are going there and doing the MBBS there. So it is, our children are, it is a brain drain, and they are not getting the seats in their own country. They are not getting the value for in their own country. Those children who have appeared for at least till 12th, they enter into those coaching classes day and night. They work hard, and even after that, 3 years to this girl, which was whom we are hearing from Lucknow, she has appeared for 4 times in NEET and is really working hard to get the results, and her sheet is being thrown. What is the justice? Where is the justice? So somewhere I'm not able to understand what are we going to do to our youth. So should they stop dreaming to become a doctor? So this is a really very pathetic condition.
Okay, let me take that across to KV Dhananjay as well. KV Dhananjay, a Supreme Court petition also now reportedly is being filed seeking a re-evaluation, a redoing of this entire examination. Of course, they're seeking to cancel the entire exam and scores as they stand today. Meanwhile, you're also hearing what a student had to face. She's also similarly approached, I think, the High Court in UP there. KV Dhananjay.
We've been seeing this more often, may not be to the same degree. And the fact that someone has knocked on the doors of the Supreme Court should not give great sense of relief to the people here, because I think we have systemic problems here. And, sometimes we overrate the powers of the court. What is it that the court would do? Is this matter waiting for some grand judicial order just to be settled? It's not so. There are systemic differences, systemic problems and deficiencies, and I don't think any amount of judicial order is going to set it right. And it's also time for the court not to really look at things in isolation. I'm very sure the court will entertain this petition and then order some remedial measures, but that just won't be enough. And whatever remedial measure would be ordered is really not going to ease the tragedy that so many people have fallen into. I think the more important aspect here is to look at things long term. Of course, as a lawyer, I forgot to say that whoever has indulged in malpractice here deserves to be punished to the fullest extent. That's a slogan more or less that we start with, but I do understand that it's really become meaningless these days. Our criminal justice system is, whoever is going to be arrested is going to be out on bail after 2 weeks or 3 weeks because the prisons are overcrowded. So, it's really very difficult to think about an immediate ad hoc solution to it. But I think in the long run, in the long term, it's important for our country to have more medical colleges. Because, look at what's happening. People finish their 10th standard and get enrolled in some of the best colleges, and after paying a fee of the fee, lakhs of rupees in fees for the 11th and 12th standard, they get into these coaching centers. And, I always wonder, if these coaching centers are such centers of excellence, why don't they set up colleges themselves, 11th and 12th standard colleges themselves? So it's fair to say that it's reasonable to assume that these coaching centers, some of these coaching centers really have a nexus with those who set up the papers. It's not necessary that there is a leak of the paper. It's entirely possible that there is a nexus that goes into even preparing the papers. And that must be probed. And of course, after it's probed, I'm very sure there will be, arrests and so on and so forth. But the other aspect is that we need to increase our medical colleges. We've had this, kind of aversion to having foreign institutions come into India. By the way, our security today is managed by Rafale aircraft made in France. So if our security is going to be, if we trust foreign manufacturers to safeguard our security, then obviously there should be no qualms in allowing foreign medical colleges to set up, because it's important to note that over the last 7 years, tens of thousands of Indian students have gone and admitted themselves in so many colleges in different countries of the world. And, this is a very shameful thing to do. You don't have American citizens going and enrolling themselves in Ukrainian medical colleges, but then our children are going there. And this has not just been happening for the last 1 or 2 years. I believe this has been happening for the last 10, 12, 13, 14 years. So it's important for the government to allow greater competition amongst medical colleges. I think this is sick. The NEET episode actually points to a very sick, scenario that we are in, and it's important for us to recognize it at least. Recognize it at least means that somebody, some minister who is going to be part of it will not focus on anything else but except to unearth the rod that has actually just crept into this, the most recent examination. And if children have actually indulged in malpractice, then notwithstanding that they might count as juveniles, it's also important for us to deal with them in a very stern manner. Because if the children who have written the 12th exam, NEET exam, happen to be juveniles, I'm very sure the law, has a very, liberal attitude towards juveniles, and that's fine. Even within that liberal attitude, there is a certain degree of deterrence. We need to visit that deterrence upon the children who in fact indulge in malpractice, because by indulging in that malpractice, they also make life difficult for lakhs of students who work hard, who burn the midnight oil day in and day out. And I think this is an extremely serious event, that it's not, it's not like, okay, fine, do you have a family member who is taking up a NEET exam, or do you have young children at home? No, it's not about that. It's about, if we don't let in our most brilliant people come into this profession, in a transparent and in an objective manner, all of us will be suffering. 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, let's assume whoever is a rank holder here was in fact, just a, part of a conspiracy, and then he gets into medical college, he's wasted one seat, and let's assume he somehow even passes medicine. He's a burden on the society. He is going to make life miserable for his patients. So it's important to look at things in that holistic perspective. And the NEET controversy certainly deserves greater public attention, to the point that our politicians will wake up. And then the central government, which of course did so many things to bring NEET into the mainstream, also alienated so many states. And now states are not really cooperating with the central government. And it's important for the center to reach out to the states and say that they want states to also monitor how this whole process is conducted. They should in fact create some kind of a hotline for states to complain and say that, look, here is a likelihood of a leak, here is actually a problem, so on and so forth. But that's just not happening. It's a center, it's a few people in Delhi that's running the NEET show. And there is no way for any, concerned public servant in the state government to contact them. And that has to change. This thing of, okay, we know very well how to do things, we will do it no matter what, we don't want anybody's feedback, that attitude has to stop. NEET is a nationwide examination, and a nationwide examination cannot be meaningfully conducted without participation, without eager participation from the states. Now, how do we make that possible? Get all the states on a hotline. Make sure that there is this confidential information that states are able to send just before an examination is held, because I'm very sure some state governments certainly would have had intelligence. So they spend crores of rupees on intelligence gathering. I'm very sure some states would have had intelligence on this, but if they are not going to be listened to, then obviously there's no way the central government, in fact, can get to know about such mischiefs in advance. So this is how it is.
Yes. Let me take that across to Ayushi. Ayushi, you're hearing, of course, what the experts have to say. Do you feel then reassured that perhaps there will be a better future ahead for you, or are you feeling dejected just looking at how this entire experience has been? Do you have still hope in the system? Are you hopeful that for a favorable outcome in the future, Ayushi?
Yes, sir. Now I'm literally hopeful. My hopes are getting increased, that hearing from all these sirs and ma'ams, respected sir and ma'am, literally I'm going to get my seat in AIMS, not even AIMS, I will get the seat surely, because now whole India is with me. Within 24 hours, I was shocked to see that a brilliant reach I had made towards the society. People are supporting me, people are with me. So I just want to say just the trust they made on me, I'm so grateful. I'm so glad that such good people are present in India. They are so good. They are supporting me in my situation. Even I could have gone to depression, but they've helped me to cope up with the depression and cope up with my overwhelming, and now I hope for the best. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Dr. Rao, quickly coming back across to you now, how do we reform the system? What steps are urgently needed? We do believe that perhaps there will be a law brought in this, new parliament now that has been convened with new MPs elected, the 18th Lok Sabha, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to combat paper leaks, because that's also a plague for our examination system. But overall, how do we reform the NEET examination system?
See, with a multiple choice question, unlike the regular question paper, which is set from exam to exam, in a multiple choice question, what we have is a massive question bank, which is created over a period of time. And then you can have just one or two people or a computerized machine to pick up the questions, so that there are very few people who have to be held responsible for any leak. It is not that you can have hundreds of people contributing questions, and these questions are to be kept in a question bank, and then you randomly pick from various subjects and have the question paper. So you can reduce the responsibility. You see how they do the budget, they lock up 3-4 people, a few people before the budget, and it's only after the budget is over that they are let out. You can do the same thing here. You don't need a large number of people. You create the question bank and then use a few people. One. Second, and like Advocate Mr. Dhananjay already mentioned, you should have a way of ensuring punishment for both adults and juveniles. That's a stern punishment. The problem is, this is why I've been repeatedly saying on the media that we need judicial reforms, and we need to quickly ensure that criminal politicians and various other criminals or people involved in criminal activity get punishment rapidly. It is not to be done after a generation or two. Thirdly, because if there is no fear of punishment, you will continue to have all these things happening. Thirdly, what Dr. Upma Arora brought up, yes, we need to increase the supply of seats. It is a demand and supply situation where the demand is far more than the supply. So a lot of money is involved, and when there is a lot of money involved, there will be greedy individuals, corrupt individuals will be attracted to do something wrong. We need more doctors, that is more sure. So we need to increase the number of colleges in India. The Modi government has been already doing it. We need to ensure that no one needs to go abroad for medical education, and even for all other higher education. And another point that I've been repeatedly bringing up, higher education in medicine abroad, in most of the countries, is done by the industry. And same thing, I'm sure, will be applicable to various others like engineering and other higher sciences, because when the industry is responsible for higher training, you won't have this problem. Secondly, the people will come with practical experience and skills,
right,
rather than with some theoretical knowledge. So these are all the various things that can be done.
Okay, let's give Dr. Upma Arora the last word, your closing comment.
Yes, I've already told you that since number of seats in government colleges have to be increased, the way Delhi government has done, since we have in engineering, what do we have? We have IITs, we have AIEEEs, we have Delhi colleges, we have IP, we have so many other things which are not as per IIT, but to a little lower level. So similarly in medical also, the children who are aspiring to do MBBS, there should be more colleges. They can be at the level of, if not at AIMS level, little junior, so that the one who have got little lesser marks, little lesser score, they also get an opportunity. So in the juniors, what we do is, juniors, even if they don't want to study, we have playway method, we have experiential learning. We find ways to teach them. Say in this case, what happens? The children who are dedicatedly working day and night and are not given a chance to study, what a kind of country are we having? What a kind of environment that we have? So don't we have the moral responsibility to give them a chance to study? They want a chance to study, who are aspiring to study
Yes.
for their country. Then they are not getting the seat. Why it is injustice? It is absolutely injustice on our part when we are not creating the medical
Absolutely.
colleges.
We certainly need to build a better country for our students. We're letting our students down is what you're saying in a very passionate manner. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us and the student as well who was live with us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.